Hey everyone, on my channel, Booksters and Purrs. My name's Leslie, and happy New Year's Eve. So, I decided I wanted to just kick off the New Year's on what would feel maybe on a right path, a less chaotic path, maybe. So Tangible Reads, Courtney from Tangible Reads, has a whole slew of us co-hosting with her. Every year, she hosts an event, and typically it takes place in January. It's called a Boot Camp Readathon, and it's just kind of like to help motivate us and reset us in the new year. And so also, Courtney is a veteran, and so that's why it's with the theme of like a boot camp, basically. So I did kind of want to share a little bit of how this is going to work. I'm going to be as brief as possible, and then I'm going to include her video below so you'll get a better sense of what's going on from Courtney's original video. Yeah, you know what? This works. All right, so there's going to be different prompts. Like, for instance, you could follow this along, or if you want, like, I think there's different levels to this. Like, the first one is Air Force. Like, maybe you just want to read 5 books. Like, you just want to do the book prompts. Another level of it is Army. Like, maybe you just want to do the books and the physical activities prompts. So you don't have to do everything. It's a new year. Go easy on yourself. This is just a bit of, I would also say, like, self-care in a way as you set your intentions for the first 2 weeks and also for the rest of the year. So each barrack has a book prompt, and I'll tell you, like, for instance, what genre. There'll be a prompt to make sure that you hydrate daily, to meditate, call friends and family, don't drink for 3 days. Then another barrack is like subscribe to 10 new channels. That's more like of an activity. Then there's like, let one of your books go, unhaul it. Or maybe you want to do some physical activity, just add something in your day. Maybe have less sugar, try a new recipe, set a new habit for yourself. So there's a lot of little really great ways to kind of focus in on these next 2 weeks. One of the prompts I'm going to be talking about is a host's favorite books. So I'm going to tag everyone that's a part of this as far as like co-hosting in, so you can go watch their videos and learn about what their favorite books are. So I gave 2 options for mine. So in case you want to read the books that are my favorites, I chose Anne Rice's Interview the Vampire. And recently, Scott from Some Other Characters has agreed to read this book. And so he's going to be reading it in like around March or something like that. So I'm excited. Anytime I talk someone into, hopefully convince them to like pick up this book, I'm really happy about that. Anyway, so that's one of my favorite books I chose. The other one was A Little Devil in America by Hani Federici. This is, it's nonfiction. Nonfiction is one of the prompts. So, and it says, in praise of Black performance. I've done a review about this before. I'm sure there's some really incredible interviews with the author because he's such a deep thinking, feeling person. And so this is about different artists, Black American artists, their impact on the world at large, and a little peek into their lives. And the author writes in a way, he always writes like essays. And so in these, there's a lot of like imbued of like self-reflection and memoir-esque. That's just how the author writes. I just love the way the author writes. He's like hands down my favorite author. And also, additionally, I felt like there's a layering in and how people perform in other ways to survive. So yeah, there's just a lot going on in this book, and it's hands down one of my favorites. So you have 2 great books to choose from for me as far as favorites go. let me see. Now, I already kicked off my Interview with the Vampire inspired readathon, and in January and February, I am focusing on Lashette. So I've already talked about all the books I'm going to read for that time period. But because I'm doing this readathon in conjunction, I'm really going to refine what am I going to be reading for the first couple of weeks. And actually, this will help me motivate me to kind of like really cram in those books, because the mid to end of this year has been a challenge to get through the books I was reading. So one of the books I think I might read first is Thank You for Letting Me Be Myself Again by Sly Stone. This is a memoir. So this is also nonfiction. Will be a great choice for, let's say, like one of the barrack options that we have. I kind of feel like this is a book that I'm going to quickly get through. It's not even quite 300 pages. It's a little less than that. So this just feels the most accessible and maybe like realistic if I think I'm going to get through a book quickly. And the other book I'm thinking about reading, or I'm going to have to read, is The Marigold, because I am buddy reading this with Courtney, and we're going to discuss later on this month The Marigold. It's sci-fi. It's like post-apocalyptic. And also I really like the cover, to be honest. So I just feel like based on like the synopsis, there's plenty going on in here that's really riveting. And because of that, I think it's a book that I will get through quickly, because once I'm really into a book, I'm locked in, you know. And lastly, what I want to get through this month is Black Punk Now. This is another book that I think I could get through quickly. And I think that's part of the attraction to this Boot Camp Readathon, is that it's really going to help me like stay on track. And there's like a level of like accountability, since we're all doing this as a large group of co-hosts. So this is fiction, nonfiction, and comics. And there's plenty of prompts in here that revolve around that. So this may just fit for you. And so there are all these great artists, but also, as you know, I just spoke about my favorite author, Hanifa Duraki, who wrote In Praise of Black Performance. He made a contribution in here. So Standing on the Verge, and this is the first punk show I went to, was Chemo Kids in Cincinnati back in 2001. And it's nonfiction, because again, he's like an essayist, basically. He's a poet and a cultural critic. And because I can't stop talking about him, if you're not familiar, feel free to type in his name in YouTube and also type Button Poetry, because his performances of his poetry is like a sight to behold unto itself. So with that said, I don't want to keep this too long, but if you're interested in this readathon and you need more information, feel free to watch the original announcement by Tangible Reads. I'm going to include it below. Lastly, but before I forget, I already have my reading sprints for the first 2 weeks for boot camp already scheduled, so you'll be able to see it pretty easily. And on Instagram, I'm going to also post all these different, let me see how I do this. Here we go. There's going to be like logs. You don't have to do this, but if you want to, you could use these. And I just want to make sure you have like access to them. So they're going to be like on my Instagram, but also there's a Discord, and all that information again is going to be in the details. And again, I'm going to tag everyone. So if you're interested in seeing everyone else's videos, what books everyone else likes, subscribing to their channels, you're going to be able to see that. And lastly, because lastly, I keep saying that, since I'm participating in this Boot Camp Readathon, I am still going to have my sprints that are focused around Lashette. It's just going to be after this Boot Camp Readathon is done, and then you'll start to see like my review of books. Not really a review, but more like a books discussion going on Wednesdays that I usually have. So just keep a lookout for that. Thank you for being patient with me. Thank you for supporting me. It's the last day of the year, and I also have reached a little over 500 subscribers. So I just want to say a big thank you. I've enjoyed every moment I've been spending with everyone in the chats. You're all just a really huge joy. So I love you lots. Happy New Year. Deep breaths, because this year felt like a decade all meshed into one. So just keep in mind that life is chaos. So be kind to yourself, be kind to others, and read more books. Bye.